Hey crew, it's Pitt, and I'm back with today's Timeless Tarot. Today is Tuesday, July the 16th of 2025, but this is a timeless message, so when it finds you is when you were meant to find it. It is, however, a collective reading, so it is not going to be for everyone, even if you found it. So, if it is not for you, leave it in the spirit in which it was given, with love. We will be drawing 8 cards from the feminine deck and 8 cards from the masculine deck so that we can understand how to manifest our highest timeline. We are asking Spirit to step in and show us exactly what we can do. The feminine deck is going to tell us what the current situation is, and then the masculine deck will let us know what we can do about that current situation. And if I can get these cards together, one quick flip around. I like to do a couple of shuffles, even though I've already done a premeditation and a intention for the deck. But now, let's see what the feminine has to tell us. At the base, we are dealing with the Four of Wands. In the sacral, we have Judgment. In the solar plexus, we have, that's the 9, right? Yeah, that's the 9 of Wands. In the heart, we have the 2 of Pentacles. In the throat, we are looking at the Moon. And in the throat, third eye, we have the 4 of Swords. And in the crown, we have the Tower inverted. And rounding us out with the feminine energy on the bottom of the deck is going to be the Fool inverted. I didn't call out the inverts here. I'll get to them. I meant to. I just forgot. And so we're going to get a couple of quick shuffles here with the masculine deck just to make sure everything is exactly where it needs to be so that we can get our best understanding for our most high timeline. All right, let's see. At the crown, we have the High Priestess. In the third eye, which goes over here, is going to be the 10 of Swords. In the throat, we have the Moon inverted. In the heart, we have the 3 of Pentacles. In the solar plexus, we have the King of Wands. In the sacral, we have the Wheel of Fortune. In the base, we have the Page of Wands inverted. And rounding out our message today with the masculine deck from the Divine, we have Death. All right, let's dive in and read the cards. We're going to start at the base. The base is your base existence. It has to do with your home. It has to do with your job. It has to do with your food. It's all of the things that are you are wishing to obtain, or your base existence, right? It is also the area that governs love and wrath. So you may be clinging a little bit too much towards love or staying a little bit too far away from it. What we have here is the 4 of Wands. Wands is going to be spirit. It is going to be fire. It is going to be change. 4 is going to be understanding that change, right? Whatever change happens to be in your life. This is inverted, so it means the change is not happening. You are resisting the change. There needs to be some extra step attached to the change so that it can be manifested, right? You need to understand. You're not quite understanding. That's probably leading into the hesitancy about the change. So what can we do about that? We have Wands, right? This is the Page of Wands. Spirit, fire, change, logos, light, movement, all of those things are the wands, right? Now the page, when he is standing upright, is basically an apprentice, right? The page is about understanding, right? It's like a 4. This is the double message of not understanding going on here. The page is, you have just learned some things about the new path. Now is the time to start putting them into action, right? This isn't you have the understanding of the knight who is going out to face the challenges, right? This is really about understanding what you just learned so you can go out and face the challenges. But it's in the inverted, right? Which means that, again, you are resisting the change. It is not happening. Maybe it's not meant to happen, right? That's probably unlikely since you've got it twice here. There is a change in your life. You need the change, more than likely, but you are resisting the change quite intensely, right? This is double change double understanding of the change and double inversion of the understanding of the change. And so there's an awful lot here that we still need to unpack. So let's get into the next cards. Next up, we move to the sacral, right? The sacral is going to deal with lust and chastity, but it's your sexual desire and the things you want to create, right? If you want a new business, this is that, right? Up here, you'll have the idea for the new business. Down here, you'll be putting it into effect. Up here, you'll have the idea for a new house. Down here, you'll be getting the new house. And so this is what you want to place. We have the judgment card. Now, the judgment card can be looked at in two ways, right? Somebody is judging you, or you are at the point of judgment for someone else. This is a celebratory card, right? This is the overcoming of death. This is the 20, which is going to be overcoming or growth once again. Do you see these people are all coming out of their coffins down here at the bottom? They're all in boxes. There are people back here doing it. There's an angel blowing a trumpet saying, hey, get up, arise, right? This is calling attention to something. What is it calling attention to? What steps can we take? What is going on in our life? The Wheel of Fortune, major change happening in your life, a little bit uncontrolled, right? A sudden change of fortunes, a reversal. It can be good or bad. With this resistance, it's probably a little bit more on the bad side. You've got some judgment, right? That means that either you are judging something or someone is judging you. It can be positive, but with these two reversals here, it's probably not going to be all that positive. You are resisting this change, right? This is change as well. Now, this is a 10, so a 10 is going to represent learning about the new path. You're not understanding something. There's something you still have to learn based upon this judgment. Now, this can be you judging people, but it can also be judging things, right? It's probably not ideas. Ideas are going to be more towards the top or swords focused. This is about change in the physical. There is something in your physical life that needs to change or is really about to change, whether or not you're resisting it, right? This is about learning just a little bit more so that you can understand. Next up, we have the solar plexus. The solar plexus is the part that is going to feed you, right? It is quite literally where you digest your food and it converts into energy. This has to deal with gluttony and temperance, so you can be over-consuming something or you can be under-consuming something. Here, we have the Nine of Wands in the reverse. Once again, wands are change. It is fire, it is light, it is life, it is logos, it is motion. All change is symbolized by the wands. This is the 9, which means that there is a choice of the greater path that you are resisting, right? This resistance down here, that you're not understanding something due to the fact that there is still something left to judge in order to get this quick turnaround, right? This is letting you know that there is a choice that you have to make based upon this judgment. When this guy is standing tall, it is about harvesting, right? This is about you have just taken in all of the things. You see that there is a new path, and now you're deciding what to do with all of your gains, right? If this was the 9 of Pentacles, you've just harvested all of your earthly things. You're looking for something to reinvest them in. Well, this is about change that you are resisting. So what can you do? What steps can you take in order to progress a little bit? We have the King of Wands. Once again, Wands is spirit, fire, change, choice, logos, light, right? King is about mastery. It's really about taking full control, about exercising your authority. He is sitting on his throne. You can see the little salamander down here representing the fire. There's a lion at the top. There's a couple of globes and things like that. This is a man in his authority. He understands what is going on because he has learned the lesson of this sudden change that is happening, and he's ready to start making this new choice. But in order to make this choice, you have to sit in authority, right? You can't be playing second fiddle, right? In a group, if you are in an association with other people, you should be fairly equal, right? But if you are in a leadership position, if you are starting something new, if you are wanting to begin something, you have to be the authority in it. Right now, that doesn't mean that you know everything. It means that you're willing to take the responsibility for the choices. These choices that you're resisting is probably the main problem, right? Maybe this has to do with you needing to bring in more people into your life. Maybe this means that you need to be a better judge of the people that you're bringing into your life. But you need to be leading and not following. You can be co-equal with somebody, but you're not subordinate to anyone in this particular thing for sure. That's going to bring us into the heart. Now, the heart is really ties together the as below and the as above. This is where manifestation truly happens. This is greed and charity. So you may be holding on to the physical things a little bit too much, or you may be giving away the physical things a little bit too much. This is about the meeting point between those two, right? What do we have? You have a choice to make, and you are resisting the choice. Now, Pentacles is body. Body means the physical plane, right? This is body. This is spirit. This is body. This choice is being signified here. Whatever this is that you're not understanding, that you need a little bit more information to make your judgment on, that you need to step into the authority to make the choice about, this is the choice, right? This is a choice about a solid career, a new home, moving locations, anything along those natures, but you are resisting this choice. It's about balance when he is standing upright, right? He understands that there is a choice that needs to be made. He's making the choice. You're not quite making the choice. What do you need to be able to make the choice? What steps can you take? What action can you bring into your life? We've got the Three of Pentacles, standing tall. Now, standing tall, the Three of Pentacles, is an apprenticeship card, right? This is not about mastery. This is about working towards the mastery. A 3 is about learning every single time. This is body. It is learning your job, learning your home, learning your interpersonal relationships in a physical manner. If you look at the card, you see this guy standing right here on the bench, right? There's a bench right here. He's working. This is the guy that is actually carving these little things up here. This is quite an intricate carving. He's putting in a lot of effort. He is being instructed by one of these men, and the other one is the commissioner, right? The guy who commissioned the work. Both of them, or all three of them, are working in cooperation. This is a card of cooperation. There's something you don't understand. You need a little bit more judgment about it. You need to be in your leadership role. There are other people involved. Right? You need to make this choice about getting the other people involved. If you get the other people involved, you will probably have a little bit more progression. That's going to bring us into our throat. Now, the throat is about communication. This is about pride and humility. So you may be a little bit too prideful in things. You may not be taking enough pride in things. What do we have? Right? This is the 18 card, which means that it is going to be about understanding, right? This is the moon. The moon is about getting out of your comfort zone more than anything else. If you look, we have the moon at the top, right? But you have two towers right here. That is Yakin and Boaz. One is lighted, one is dark. You're supposed to walk through the middle, and this is signified by this path that runs right through the middle. You have on one side a wolf, you have on the other side a dog, representing the dual nature of man. One domesticated, one wild. You're supposed to walk right through the middle. Where's the road going? Right through the middle. And you have this little armored creature, this crawfish, coming out of the water, which is its comfort zone, and walking this path through the middle towards the change. Right? I don't know that it can be much clearer than this. You need to protect yourself, absolutely. Be good and prepared, but you need to get out and walk. You need to walk between the middle of these two. You need to communicate about the walk, right? We're dealing with the throat. The throat is communication. It is pride and humility. So you are probably being a little too humble about this because you need to step into this leadership role, right? You need to get this cooperation and make this choice, make this judgment. You're probably resisting this a little bit. You're not communicating in the way that you should be, or you're a little bit prideful in it. You may be over talking. And the reason I say that in particular is because of the clarifier here. What do we have clarifying the moon? We got the moon in reverse, right? Which means not resisting, not doing, not completing, right? And so maybe you are being just a little bit prideful. You have it in your mind that this idea that you have, that you're trying to bring people in, right? You've got this choice that's not going in the right direction about other people, this position of authority that you're not making the correct choice about. You need more understanding. You've got a little bit of the concept wrong. There is something that you are judging in the wrong way. And so I'm pretty sure that was supposed to be inverted. Regardless, this is inverted, which means that there is some resistance, whether that is from you or from the divine. It is probably from you, right? Being led by the divine, absolutely. It's in the reverse. You're not doing it, whatever it happens to be. Now, this is probably you being a little bit prideful about this idea. You've got this judgment. You need a new judgment. I'm pretty sure that this was in reverse, and I just put it in the wrong way. Once again, be a little bit more humble. Just because an idea has been around for a long time doesn't mean that it is correct. Just because many people have said it doesn't mean that it is correct. And if you've got an idea based upon something that's not quite correct, but it's really close, right? It's right at the edge. You're being a little bit inflexible about understanding that you don't have it quite right. So, what else do we have? What else can we do? Next, we look at our third eye. Now, the third eye is where you see forward in life. It is where you envision your future, right? Where you're putting into play the things here. You're thinking about them up here. This is the actual physical pushing it. This is the conceptualization of it. And what we have is the Four of Swords in reverse. Now, swords is soul. It is air. It is thought. It is change on an intellectual level. Not the same kind of a change as the wands, but more of a change of thought. You're not changing the thought, right? We just saw right here that there is something that you're not quite understanding, right? There's something you got to make a judgment about, step into this responsibility, this choice that you have to make that you don't, or the understanding that you're not quite getting, right? This, again, is a 4 in reverse. 4 in reverse, 4 in reverse, 4 in reverse. Right? I know this is a page. It's the same as a 4. There is something you are not understanding. Whatever it happens to be, you're a little bit prideful about it. I don't know your idea, but you are thinking that this is the only way to go about it. And maybe there is something else that can help you to achieve what you want. Now, when he's standing tall, the 4 is about meditating before going out, right? You're understanding you have the ability, right? These 3 swords right here, that's the swords of the enemies that you have captured. This is your sword underneath you. You're laying in repose. You are meditating upon your victories and trying to understand the true significance of being a master of the sword. It's in reverse. You're not doing it, right? This is an idea that you are not understanding. How can we get some clarification on that? What do we need in order to better understand what we are doing? We got the 10 of Swords. This is, again, idea. Not understanding it, you need to learn a little bit more, right? The 10 of Swords, learn a little bit more. This can be about other people, right? Standing tall like this, the traditional interpretation is you've been stabbed in the back by 10 people, right? Now, that is, your associations are not quite what they need to be. Maybe what you're misunderstanding in this situation is who you are bringing in, right? This is about you need some people. You need to make this choice that you're resisting about bringing people in. You're a little bit prideful about your idea. You're a little bit inflexible. Maybe be a little bit more flexible. Maybe you're bringing the wrong people in and you're being rigid about the people that you're trying to bring in. Maybe you are setting limitations upon them that don't need to be there. Maybe you are putting expectations upon them that don't hold up. Or you have expectations that they are not meeting. All of that can be this betrayal energy. It doesn't necessarily have to be somebody literally stabbing you in the back. It can be a misunderstanding or something along those lines. Whatever it is, the person that you are bringing in may not be correct. The people that you are trying to group, you may not be ready for that yet. There is still something about this idea that you need to learn about. Let us look at the crown. Now, the crown is where you interpret the divine. You get your energy from the divine. It comes through your crown. You process that and let other people, you process that to a better understanding. You've got the tower in reverse, right? And then the tower is, what number is that? I've got to remember to leave my glasses on. That is 16, which means that it is about a choice, right? The tower in reverse, again, you are not making the choice. This is a sudden, out of control energy. You feel like you are out of control. You feel like you don't have a grasp on this situation, right? Or maybe you have a little bit too much of a grasp because it is in reverse, right? The tower standing tall is about sudden change coming upon you without any real control. The Wheel of Fortune is about sudden change coming upon you. You don't really know where it's going. So there is a sudden change definitely coming in your life if you can get over this humility, if you can bring in the correct people and make the correct choices, because now you understand the choice. How can we get a better understanding of our choice? We have to embrace our High Priestess energy. The High Priestess is about choosing, right? This is the base path, but it is about choosing the magical path. If you look at our High Priestess sitting here, what is she sitting between? The same two pillars that we see right here on the moon. This is Yakim and Boaz. This is light and dark, creation, destruction, masculine, feminine. All things contain both. And you are supposed to be balanced between them. You have a little bit too much of one of the energies, right? That's what's coming to me from this card about the whole thing. Your basic misunderstanding that you're making the wrong judgment about this change, that you need a better understanding in order to assume this responsibility, in order to bring in these people, you got to make a choice, but you don't understand it. There's some kind of an energy. You're bringing in a little bit too much of one of the energies, right? You are meant to be between the masculine and the feminine. That doesn't mean that you have to be an effeminate man, but you should be able to be in control of your emotions. Being in control of your emotions does not mean that you block them. It means that you use them in the appropriate manner. There is a good time to be mad, to be wrathful, right? To exercise righteous vengeance. There's a time for that, but it's not all of the time. And if you think that you have to act like a tough guy all of the time, you're bringing in too much masculine energy. That doesn't mean that you need to cry all of the time, but you should be able to cry. It doesn't mean that you have to talk about your emotions all of the time, but you should be able to talk about your emotions. Contrarily, if you are bringing in too much of the feminine energy, you are being too nurturative. You're not allowing things to take their course. You are holding on a little bit too tightly. You're not allowing the change to come in. You are meant to balance in your life all of the virtues and the vices, right? Each one of these spots represents one of the virtues and the vices, not these, but you are meant to be in the balance between them, right? You are supposed to have lustful intentions for specific people, not everybody. You're supposed to have possessions, just not all of the possessions. You're supposed to have a little bit of pride, just not all of the pride that your idea cannot be incorrect. Balance. Your tower, this sudden change that is coming in your life if you relinquish control, if you balance your energies. And that's going to bring us to our final part of the message. This is coming from the divine. What is the divine telling us that our current situation is? You're not quite the fool. Now, the fool standing tall some interpretations are that he is a foolish person making foolish decisions. Or this can be the guy on the adventure. He is setting out to do exactly what he wants to do. If he actually makes informed choices, right? He understands the situation and makes these choices, then he's going out equipped. He's got his pole coming out over his head right here. He's got his equipment with him. He's got a dog to warn him of the danger. He is going out to seek and to do. But you're not. You're not quite there yet. You're resisting a little bit. You are not embracing the full energy. The full energy is, what is this new experience? There might be something I need to learn in this. Hey, maybe you need to learn. Now, the Fool is represented by the 0, which means he stands outside of all of this. He is a part of all of it. The Fool's journey is quite literally how the tarot should be read. And so, this is the initiator. You are not doing the initiation. So, in order to do the initiation, what actions can we take? We have the Death card. Now, the Death card is 13, which means that this is overcoming and nurturing, right? This is the equivalent of a king, of a queen. It is about sudden change, kind of like the Tower, but in a different way, right? This is a release of authority right here. This is the authority that is dead. These are people welcoming in that change of authority. This is a new beginning. It can be a negative, right? It can represent a literal death, but most often it's not. Most often it is reading these two together, right? If you have the Fool and death together, it means that you need to let go of some particular idea that you're holding on to, that you're resisting, some particular job that's not good for you, right? In order to become this Fool like this, something has to die. Now, this can be a literal living entity, but it is almost certainly not going to be a living entity. So, if you fully want to realize where you are going on this path, if you want to actualize the things in your life that you are dreaming about, right? This idea that you have, that you need a new understanding, something is going to have to die in order for you to be here. And that is probably your pride, right? Whatever this one idea is that you're holding on to, that I've got the right way and everybody else is wrong, and God knows I am a big one for that particular peccadillo. You've got to let go of it, right? You've got to understand that maybe you just don't understand. Hopefully, I brought a little bit of enlightenment, not too much confusion. If you like what I'm doing over here, let me know down below. Give me a like, a share, a follow, throw me a comment if you agree or disagree with anything that was said. Put it in the box down below, and if it remains respectful, it gets to remain up. If you are a reader and you have a different interpretation, you are more than welcome to drop that in the box as well. Everybody is welcome over here as long as it is respectful. If you really like what I'm doing, hit me with that super thanks. Consider joining for a membership or picking up a copy of my book where I teach you to do magic responsibly. To the crew, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate every single minute that you are here with me, and I am praying for you every single day. Until next time, I love you. God loves you. You are perfect, whole, and complete, just the way that you are. And this has been Pitt's Take. Peace.